America. I'm Jimmy Fallon. The king of late night, Greg Gutfeld, is out. And that's a good thing, because he would totally trash this jacket from my overweight figure skater collection. Like, listen, folks, Greg bashes my wardrobe a lot, but in my defense, unlike Greg, I can't borrow clothes from Peter Dinklage. Jimmy. Anyway, we have a great show for you tonight with a sexy-ass panel. But before we get to them, it is Friday. Now, the normal tradition on Gutfeld is that we'd open with leftovers. But seeing as it's the last episode of 2023, the producers agreed to let me share my final thoughts on the year, if it's okay with you people.
Phelan's final thoughts.
Now, to be honest, 2023 was a bit of a dumpster fire. But it did teach us a lot of things. For instance, Bud Light taught us that this was not what customers meant when they asked a bartender for a beer with some nuts. So silly. Yeah, the Dylan Mulvaney story turned the king of beers into the Rodney king of beers. But the craziest part is they gave Mulvaney a commemorative can to celebrate 1 year of womanhood. So technically speaking, they were giving beer to a 1-year-old girl. Not sure that's what alcohol ads meant by drink responsibly, but here we are. Don Lemon taught us it's possible to suck so bad that even CNN will fire you. Lemon, if you remember, got into hot water after saying Nikki Haley was past her prime. First off, anyone who tells you women over 50 are past their prime has never seen my search history. But second, Don Lemon, dude, you endorsed Kamala Harris. We'll ask your opinion on women once we get OJ's take on marriage. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce taught us that it's still legal to like white people. Go figure. Who knew? Who knew? We're still a thing. Sure, the mayor of Boston had a Christmas party where no white people were allowed. But as racist moves go, the Boston mayor is at like a 5 on a scale of 1 to Harvard. Yeah, Harvard's President Claudine Gay came under fire after failing to condemn anti-Semitism in a disastrous appearance before Congress. On the plus side, now we know why she plagiarized the rest of her speeches. Although in her defense, she didn't think she could write them herself because as a Hamas supporter, she didn't know women were allowed in libraries. Oh, okay. Can we have security look at the groaners on that one? The pro-Hamas recipients of that joke? Not something I budgeted for. As for Taylor and Travis, though, I do get it. This couple is everywhere. And a lot of football fans are annoyed that they keep showing Taylor at all the games. But you gotta admit, it's nice to see someone pretending to be a chief besides this lady. Jimmy, so silly. Pro-Palestinian protesters taught us that you don't have to be smart to get into an Ivy League college. Check this out. Seriously, if there was any doubt about how dumb these protesters were, it all went out the window when they confronted Alec Baldwin about ending the bombings in Gaza. Earth to protesters. Alec Baldwin couldn't get a ceasefire on his own movie set. I doubt he's going to calm things down in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect to the shooting star. Anyway. Speaking of movies, Barbie was the big winner at the box office this year, raking in $1.4 billion worldwide. How about it? Republicans loved it because Margot Robbie is a smoke show, let's be honest. While liberals loved going to the theater because they finally found a way to be surrounded by underage girls without flying all the way to Epstein Island. Coincidentally, this is interesting, Barbie brought in more money at the box office than any film since Titanic, which continued to shatter records this year. Jimmy, they're just jokes. Everybody's going to be okay. There's no way any of you are rich enough to know people on that sub, so relax. But while we're talking money, we should mention that a 2023 saw a Florida man win the biggest Mega Millions jackpot in history at $1.6 billion. Lottery officials say the man's trying to remain anonymous, and he set up an LLC in Delaware to hide the money. As you'd imagine, he's reaching out to the experts on hiding money in Delaware. So silly. Yeah, it wasn't exactly a banner year in politics. Donald Trump became the first president to be criminally indicted, and Joe Biden became the first president to make a sign language interpreter shrug. Yo, true story. At the State of the Union, his second to last line was, "Now's the time to choose between unity and schmuggana. And it's the State of the Union, so they all clap. But if you watch the sign language interpreter, she goes from signing to, like, Google, because she's like, I don't know what this means. Like, come to think of it, it might have been the sign language interpreter's cocaine at the White House after all that. As for Trump looking back on the historic day of his indictment, if we're being honest, the most shocking part of his flight to New York was seeing a president make it up the steps of the plane in one try. And finally, 2023 taught us that literally anyone can write a book. I'm going to get us out of this mess. Shut up. And just when you thought the bar couldn't get any lower. Now, let's get real for a minute. You should buy Kat's book because she's profoundly talented. She's a best-selling author. She sells out stand-up shows all over the country. Do you want to know why you should buy my book for real? Just so you can see how out of place it is on the Fox News Books website. Go to that site. You're going to the first book is like Shannon Bream, Women of the Bible Speak, Harris Faulkner, Faith Can Move Mountains, Jimmy Fallon, a hooker farted on a guy in my cab. I don't know what it's doing there, but I buy it. Check it out. Yeah, 2023 was the type of crazy-ass story that you couldn't make up, unless you were George Santos. Gotta hit the Republicans, kids. That's how comedy works. Now, the House of Representatives voted to expel the Holocaust survivor turned astronaut. And let's be clear, though. Like, Santos lied way too much. Like, you know it's bad when Lauren Boebert says you're yanking our chain. Boebert famously got caught fondling a man's privates in a Denver movie theater. Republicans were upset that she performed a sex act in public. Democrats were angry that she didn't show the video to kindergarten kids. Coincidentally, Boebert did it during a screening of Beetlejuice, which is not exactly the sexiest show in town. If you don't believe me, you've never seen what Beetlejuice looks like. Jimmy. And finally, a tip of the cap to New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, who showed us that it really is possible to get the gold bars out of Nigeria. Now, millions of Americans have received spam emails over the years and come up empty, but not Menendez. And sure, he was criminally indicted afterwards, but he hasn't been forced to resign, because if 2023 taught us anything, it's that liberals have no problem with men going for the gold as long as they take it from a woman. If political pundits were wine, she'd be the nicest box on the shelf. Fox News anchor Julie Banderas in the house. He's a kick-ass comedian who looks like the guy Hunter buys crack from. Comedian Jim Florentine. He always kills on stage, and not just because he looks like a Civil War general. Actor and stand-up comedian Tyler Fisher. And her New Year's resolution is to be less awesome. New York Times best-selling author and Fox News contributor, Kat Timp's here. And the crowd goes wild. All right, so Julie, we covered a lot there. When you look back on 2023, if someone gave this to you as a gift, would you keep it or would you regift it?
I would regift it, but like to an enemy. You know, like you don't give 2023 to anyone you have any respect for. I'd give it to my ex-husband.
2023 is the fruitcake of years. I dig it.
Yeah, I liked the Don Lemon story, though, because I just want to address that. He's calling Nikki Haley, actually, out of her prime. He's past his prime. I just wanted to put that on the record.
I'm glad we got that out of the way. Yeah, I feel like it needed to be said.
Yeah,
great to see.
I thought it's,
Florentine, as a nationally touring comedian, people like to say, this is like the best time to be a comic because there's so much stupid stuff going on. But isn't it actually the opposite? Because it's almost hard to keep up with the ridiculousness?
It is, and then people are afraid to laugh at something, especially with the Bud Light stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Not this crowd. Give them credit.
No, I know.
Oh, my God. I was like, yo, you cannot offend this crowd. We tried everything. People at home don't know this. We opened by clubbing a baby seal. They didn't even care. They were like, no, hit him again.
I actually love that the only thing they were offended by was you saying I was a bad writer.
Yes. And you know I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I love all of you. Come over after.
Yeah, that's hot. Oh, no, you should. If you guys like meth, you're going to love this party. But it is.
I'm way classy.
But it is. It's a stupid time to be alive.
It is, but like if I made a joke about Bud Light, if I said some guy in the front's drinking a Bud Light at the comedy show, I go, you need to tell me something? You might as well get out in the open right now. They'll just like, oh, how can you say that?
Now, as a comedian, Tyler, though, aren't you thankful for the decision-making process of the parent company, Tranheuser-Busch?
Tranheuser-Busch. Well, you know what? I think they made a big mistake. Barbie made a big mistake.
Okay.
They should have had Dylan Mulvaney play Barbie because he's 90% plastic at this point, right? They could have saved money. He could have played Barbie and Ken, right? Called it Barbenheimer.
I like
right?
that was a great
And then they
joke.
only play it on the Gaza Strip, and they don't let old white women in. We could have combined it all into one time-saving thing.
Hey, Kat, didn't Dylan Mulvaney kind of destroy the gender pay gap? And that he was a man for 27 years, no one knew who he was. He was a woman for a year, he made $10 million.
So I wasn't as into talking about the Dylan Mulvaney thing. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. However, I think it's interesting that they chose, if they wanted to have a trans person for their ad, they chose, you know, a male to female trans person and not the other way around.
Yeah.
They could have done like for 100, days of being a bro, like it's a bro-y brand. It's Bud Light. And as a woman who was born a woman and is still extremely bro-y, I don't know why I would miss out on an opportunity like that or other people, because it's like nobody who is campy is drinking Bud Light.
No, it's true.
Regardless of gender.
But that's what I think these brands screw up. They try to placate the people who don't actually partake in what they're doing. Isn't that, it's so stupid.
Well, that podcast, that the marketing person actually said that.
Yeah.
Like, we want, she did a podcast where she said she was trying to she thought the consumer that chose the product was disgusting.
Yeah.
But also, it was all about business. She never at any point said, I really actually care about trans people. So businesses are businesses. Their aim is to make money, so that shouldn't be shocking.
Yep.
What's shocking to me is when people think businesses care about you.
Oh, yeah, they don't care at all.
They're all
That's a great point. But I do agree.
On to our commercial break.
Didn't Disney kind of learn that message? Like, you're supposed to do what makes you money. Like, people go to Disney because they like rides. They want to pay $32 for a turkey leg and marvel at the fat people on scooters. Isn't that why you go?
Yeah.
But, like, no one was waiting in line 3 hours to go on Snow White and the 7 Inches. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think this was the year, Florentine, that's going to kind of scare companies straight?
I think so. I think after the Bud Light thing, because it's still down like 25%. I love going to the liquor store and just going to the beer section and seeing the Bud Light stacked to the ceiling and the Corona is way down here. I love seeing that. That's great.
It's got to hurt your feelings as a Bud Light guy, because I'll tell you this. The thing that hurt me the most, JB, my car once got stolen in the city. And if you live in the city, you're like, just once? Really? My car once got stolen in the city. They threw my CD out of the tape player. Like, they were like, I'm stealing your car, but I'm not a dirtbag. I'm not going to listen to Jimmy's Color Me Bad Summer Mix 92. And they ditched my music.
Why would anyone want to steal a Toyota Camry?
Well, it's things went on in that Camry. As you know, a former New York City cab driver, I've had thousands of women in my back seat, technically speaking. Anyway, on that mediocre splash, before we go, a quick reminder. My new book, The Cancel Culture Dictionary, comes out January 30th. It is an A to Z guide on how to take back some fun in our woke world. So don't forget to pre-order your copy now. Look at me, folks. I need all the help I can get.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.